Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whichever you're watching, to Good News, Covington County. And boy, I'll tell you what, we have got a show in line for you today. We've got John J. here from Sporting Lifestyles. And John, welcome to WKNI. You're fighting that same head cold me and Teresa have been fighting all week.
It's something that I think I caught from my son. He went up to be processed for the National Guard, and he came back with the sniffles. And,
no, he didn't.
And I enjoyed him sharing a lot of things with me, but this is not one of them. This too will pass.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud to hear he's going to National Guard.
Yeah, he'll be in this Andalusia unit. He'll be a medic. He's real proud of it.
Well, I know my son's been in the National Guard now for a few years. He just came back from Afghanistan. And I'll tell you, there ain't nothing prouder than a dad with a son in the National Guard or Army or in the military and them young men and women serving this country and willing to lay it on the line.
Yeah, I have two sons here in Andalusia. I'm very, very proud of both of them.
Well, you're good folks too over there, and I got to talk a little bit about the store, okay? And then we're going to go into some events that y'all had this weekend. Folks, if you have not been to Sporting Lifestyles, okay, if you're from here, you've got to know what's out there. It's over at the Westgate Plaza, all right? And you can't miss it. It's got a big sign on it with a target that says Sporting Lifestyles. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay. And they're open from when?
Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday from 9 until 6, and on Saturdays from 9 until 4 o'clock.
All right. There's a lot of opportunity there for you to go by. If you're looking for anything in the sporting goods needs that you have, whether it be clothing, apparel, you can see some here on the set that we're going to be talking about, any hunting materials, things like that, guns, okay, ammunition, bows, arrows, crossbows, kayaks, trolling motors, you name it, you got
rods, reels, fishing tackle, terminal tackle, men's wear, women's wear. We've got a little bit of almost anything that if you're into an outdoor lifestyle, I'm not talking about football, basketball, tennis, or golf, but something outside where you enjoy the amenities nature gives you, then we're a pretty darn good place to go see.
Well, in fact, this weekend, this past Saturday and Sunday, y'all sponsored an event that was right here in town and brought in over 100 people into around the community to go out, and it was a 3D archery or bow target thing.
Well, yeah, we were. I guess our involvement would be more on the outside than the inside.
Right.
Some of our internal people, James Ennis, and some of the people that James knows that formed this Covington County Bow Hunters Association, were instrumental in taking this piece of property that Mr. Tisdale had and turning it into a 3D range. And they had a tournament that was sanctioned by BHA, Bow Hunters of America, and we had 100 people came in and shot on Saturday and Sunday in spite of the weather.
Wow.
Came from as far away as Coleman and Huntsville and Tuscaloosa, and Pensacola, Fairhope areas, Mobile, came all the way to Little Andalusia to shoot in a 3D archery contest. Great turnout. Some of the finest people I've ever met came through.
Oh, yeah. And I found out some things, too. We've got some interviews that we're going to be showing here in just a second. But we even have a youth archery program in the community.
There's a county youth program.
Yeah.
That almost, I think every school is involved in it this year. But and we were involved in it last year where they, Pleasant Home, Strawn, Opp, Andalusia, Red Level. If I've left anybody out, Florella. I think have all had groups that have worked together and young people and have produced, and I'm sure the film would show if you've been able to get enough of it. We have some outstanding youth that are doing an exceptional job with archery in this community. It's unfortunate in the South that a lot of universities don't offer archery scholarships where, you know, when you go to Indiana, Wisconsin, Minnesota, places like that, they actually field archery teams as part of their athletic programs. I know when I went to Troy last week with my youngest son as he prepares to go to school there, we went by part of the campus, and they were actually out there practicing archery at that place. So it's a sport it's on the grow again in the United States.
I was talking to the folks out there, as you'll see here in this interview coming up, but a gentleman by the name of David Peterson. Yeah, David Peterson. Pearson, I'm sorry. And he's very involved with the youth anyway.
Correct.
And he'll show us here or talk to us here about what's going on. Some of the audio isn't the best in the world because I was using the camera microphone out there because I didn't expect to do a whole lot of interviews. But we got to go through some of the range, but we didn't go out Sunday because I didn't think anybody would be out, but apparently they were.
Came and shot.
Man, I'll tell you, it was an awesome setup and a lot of great work out there. And Mr. Tisdale donated this land for them to use and set up the 3D target range, and it's a great thing. It's a it's a family event.
Well, to Mr. Tisdale's credit, what he did was he had this land, and now it's being utilized for the community. He has his own equipment. They cut the roads themselves with our equipment or with John's equipment. And Michael Blair, that works with the city utilities, was instrumental in his spare time with going out there and cutting the roads and making sure that an awful lot of that was laid out properly, the way that James Ennis and a number of these people want it done. And I think it's a real asset to the community.
Well, speaking of Michael Blair, he's the mayor of Beef O'Brady's. And I say we got to find somebody's got to run against Michael Blair at Beef O'Brady's.
He's a pretty good one.
I don't know. I think I can think of somebody. Somebody that likes to run for mayor. Anyway.
I'm not getting involved in this.
Anyway, I'm going to get in so much trouble. Folks, Sporting Lifestyles is, and what I want y'all to grasp from this, it's not just a business that came into the community. And I'm not pumping it up because John Tisdale's a friend of mine and he's also a landlord here at the WKNI studios. I'm telling the truth. This man has invested time and money into this community. 100 people from out of this area, around surrounding areas, came to this community over the weekend. Guess what they spent? Money. All right, they bought food, they stayed at motels, they paid taxes for the stuff that they had. So it's an influx. And then the land that this man's given, I just want to say thank you to Mr. Tisdale. He has been a, shall I say, well, I'll just leave that alone. He's a good man. And,
he does an awful lot thanklessly.
Exactly, and we'll thank him here. But let's get to this video now. We've got some folks on there that will be telling you all about this stuff. Then we'll come back here and we're going to see some stuff that John J. bought. There's a kit right there that I need to keep with me at all times. I'm paying you for that when you leave right there. I want that because I guarantee I'll get bit or stung sometime during the summer. It happens all the time. Folks, here's that video and we'll come right back. Folks, we're out here in a field just outside of city of Andalusia with a gentleman by the name of Danny Stokes, and he represents an organization that's starting back up, I guess, out here. Yes, and Mr. Stokes, tell us what's going on behind us.
This is our first leg of the BHA Wilderness of Alabama Trail Shoot Series. We have 6 a year, and they're located all across the state. We have a southern zone, central zone, and northern zone, and each zone hosts 2 trail shoots. We do the first one every year. The last one is actually the state championship, and it's in Alexander City. And each zone has 2. This one is the first one, and they'll go to the northern zone and have one come back to the central zone, and then back to the southern zone, which is Monroe County, which is Atmore area. And then the state championship, like I said, is in Alexander City this year.
So this is actually a statewide competition?
It is, yes, sir.
And how many zones, I guess I'd call it, do you have in the state?
We have 3, the northern zone, central zone, and southern zone.
And how many participants do you have here in Covington County?
We have probably 10 to 20 members that are actually members of the Covington County Bow Hunters chapter of BHA. And of course we'll have probably 150 to 170 shooters statewide that'll be here this weekend.
And how often does this happen out here?
We have a club shoot here every month, 6 a year. Our final shoot at the end of the year is in the first weekend of September, and it's our cancer shootout cancer shoot. And all the proceeds from that event goes to help a cancer patient in the county. And we've done that for the last 5 years.
Now we're going to be going to different stations or points along the trail here where the competitors are going to be shooting at different targets.
Yes, sir.
How many of those different areas are we going to be seeing today, and what do they represent?
You'll actually, there's 25 targets today. They are 3D foam animals. They represent a life-size game animal. We have them ranging in size from a coyote to a turkey to an elk, a full-size elk target. And that elk represents a, 500 to 700 pound bull. And you shoot it from unknown distances except for the known 40 class. We have classes from cubs, which is 8 and under, up to old men like myself, it's 55 and older, 50 and older. So we have a class for everybody to come shoot, and we also have a couple of handicap shooters that will be here to shoot with us hopefully tomorrow.
I was going to ask you about that. We talked about that off camera several years ago. I myself and WKNI went to Big Bend, Florida, and they had an annual handicap fishing tournament where the airboats would take out the handicap folks and take them out fishing for the day. There's a lot of that going on, a lot of activity. Bow hunting seems to fit right in.
Yes, sir. Well, like I said, we discussed off camera, with Disney coming out with the movie Brave and the Hunger Games movie coming out with a girl shooting the bow. They've got a lot of girls now that are shooting bows. A lot of young girls are shooting bows. Wives are shooting bows. My wife shoots a bow. She's a 3-time state champion. So when you get moms and daughters involved in it, it becomes a family sport then. And then you'll see whole families out here this weekend shooting, and that's what's going to make this sport grow. Is it's become a family event, not just a guys event like it used to be.
Well, guns used to be a big thing.
Yes,
ammunition and things like that are costly nowadays.
Yes, sir.
Here you've got your ammunition, which is arrows or bolts, and they're retrievable.
Right.
So you have a...
To get into shooting a tournament, you can spend as little or as much as you would like to. It's just like buying a new car. You can get all the bells and whistles that you want to get, and it all costs money. But if you start out with a basic bow, $300 to $500, and get a dozen arrows, if you take care of those arrows, you'll never wear those arrows out. You can retrieve them, pull them out of the target, shoot them again, 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 as long as you don't hit a tree like I do sometimes and break it. But it's a very efficient sport because you don't have to replace your arrows every time you shoot them like you do bullets. You do have to replace strings and cables on your bows every 2 to 3 years if you maintain them. But that's really the only expense you have in the archery equipment if you maintain it well.
All right, well, we're going to get on, and we're going to meet another gentleman that you introduced us to earlier.
Yes, sir. Buster.
And
Buster. Buster Stone is our vice president of the club.
Okay.
And without him, we would not be here. And that's just plain and simple. They donated the shed, as you see here. Hard manual labor we've been out here doing. He's been right beside me every minute of the day. And this is Buster Stone. He's a resident of Covington County. He lives just south of here, close to Pleasant Home. Him and his wife are really big involved in the Covington County Youth Archery Association, which David Pierce, where's David? David. Come here a minute. Yeah. This is, you know David.
right.
David Pierce, 6, 7, 8 years ago, started the Covington County Youth Archery Association.
About 10 years.
About 10 years ago. It got a lot of our school students involved in the archery, and he and Robbie Barton, I think, instituted it the first year we did it, and that has really grown the sport of the archery in Covington County through the youth, and that's all due to him and Robbie, and now Buster has really helped that a lot. And what's the lady's name that's doing that now?
You know her.
Melissa? Yeah. And they're doing that through all the county schools. And each school has a archery team, and every student that wants to come out and shoot on the team can participate, right?
That's right.
just a requirement, I guess it would be a grade average of some sort?
No, they don't
No?
look at grades
Not
at
even
all. Anybody can shoot if
Yeah.
they want to shoot.
So just from his start and us continuing that on, it's grown in the county.
Mr. Pierce, if I can ask you, is this going to be something like golfing and tennis and things like that in the local school system eventually?
It's not actually affiliated with the school system. We just use the school system to establish the team. If you're in a certain school area district, that's the team that we're shooting with.
Now, archery seems to be an Olympic event as well in different areas, and do you see that maybe starting up in the schools here locally?
It can. They have the National Archery Schools program that they use, and we sort of did our program after that.
Well, that's
So it could. They have actually implemented some of the schools.
letting them pull in some arrows and stuff like that.
And for the children, it's we're just talking about the expenses to get involved in this. A lot of folks can afford to get into this, right?
It's reasonable. You can put as much as you want to in there, as little as you want to in it. There's initial startup cost, but after that, it's pretty well, it's cheap.
And if a parent or child wanted to get into this, how would they get hold of you?
Get a hold of me.
Or whoever's in charge of the...
Actually, Melissa Hart's in charge of the program now for the youth archers. I don't have her numbers on hand.
We'll get them.
They also, we have a website which is bowhuntersofalabama.org, not .com, but .org. They can go to our website. It's got all the information about tournaments throughout the state. Contact information, my name and number's on there. Mark Proctor, who's the president of BHA you spoke to earlier, is on there. We can give them any helpful information they need on there.
Is there an age limitation on the children?
Just have to be school age.
Now, when you say school age, elementary...
Yeah, there's no minimum age, but as long as you're eligible to attend school, we've even had kids who are not attending school, but they are still school age. There may be a homeschool program or a GED program. But if you're school age, you can shoot.
Well, gentlemen, we appreciate your time, appreciate what you're doing for the community, especially the children in this community, because we hear it too many times, don't we? There's nothing for the kids to do, and here's an opportunity for an effective way to get out and enjoy the elements of the beauty that we have in the community as well, and enjoy our sport as well.
And I don't have the statistics to show it, but David can tell you, when kids get involved in shooting sports, they just do very well on out in life and everything else. It really is a good basis to do. And that's why I think he got that originally started, because it does give him such an outlet to do something.
Well, I'm sure we'll be getting hold of you and Melissa and putting something together and having y'all come on and talk on the show with us about this program, because this is something good for the community, and it's a positive, upbeat thing for this community, and we look forward.
If you go out to one of the youth shoots, you will see mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, brothers, sisters walking along with the kids. We'll have 67 to 80 kids.
Right.
You'll have that many or more parents and grandparents and brothers and sisters walking along with them, watching them shoot. It's just amazing. You need to go to one.
Well, we appreciate what y'all are doing. We thank you, and you have a blessed day. Enjoy your shooting out here today.
Thank you.
And John, that was out there this weekend, and unfortunately I was going to get the shots, the 3D target shots on Sunday, but the weather didn't allow me to go out there and do that. But some fine things. What I got out of this was a lot, okay, for the community especially, was that there was a group of people that have this available to them. It's a local group. It's a local club.
All the energy, funding, and everything else. So that's 25 of these guys that are local that have put this thing together, and they really work hard at what they do, and they enjoy what they do. But it's an excellent program that they've done it themselves. It's a great thing about small town America. A lot of times when you want something done, you have to do it yourself, and they do it well.
Well, the other thing is David was talking about the children's program here locally, and that's huge for me. I mean, you hear folks out there saying there's nothing for the kids to do. There's lots of things. When you look behind the scenes a little bit, you can see this stuff, and they can come to Sporting Lifestyles and get all the equipment, get all the information.
Sure. Something else that we could kind of segue into something else that's coming up in the community, and then we'd like to talk a little bit about what we do, though, is the National Wild Turkey Federation is having their annual banquet / auction for funding at the Kiwanis Center on Friday night. It starts at 7
This
o'clock.
Friday?
This Friday.
28th?
Right. It's you can buy a ticket, buy them from me. I've got them down at the store.
Now, what is this?
National Wild Turkey Federation.
Okay.
What they do is they take their funding and they buy or seed habitat all over the United States so that we can move the turkey back into its original range and even to places that it didn't range. In the last year, they've gone from 1 million to 1.5 million acres that they've helped bring into the program. They provide seed in this area at nominal or sometimes almost no cost to people that can provide food plots for the turkey. Of course, that's also a food plot for your deer and other wildlife. Somebody will say, well, yeah, they do that so they can kill the turkeys. Well, there's a bonus for us for providing the habitat for the animals, but I assure anybody out here that there are far more turkey and turkey poults killed by coyotes than by any of the turkey hunters that we've got in this area. This is about preserving and conserving the species and the land. As we grow, our population grows, and they encroach on these land areas. There's less and less habitat space for these animals to live on, so we have to do a better job of managing the land that there is there to keep the species alive, and that's really what this thing is about. Andalusia has a chapter, Melba has a chapter, Evergreen has a chapter, and they'll all have separate banquets. A good deal of the funding will come from the sale of the banquet ticket, which is one of these things that you get a meal and an opportunity at a raffle, and you get a subscription to their national magazine as a result of that, and membership in the National Wild Turkey Foundation. That in and of itself is an excellent value because the food's out of this world. Then if you choose to participate, there's an auction. They'll auction everything from
I'm looking at
beautiful wares, pictures, prints,
I mean, I don't
furniture, all kind of nice
know.
things.
This is just a couple pages.
Sculpture.
I mean, this is just some of it right here, Teresa. I mean, these are some beautiful items here.
Right.
And if you, some nice stuff. I mean, artwork, carvings.
Most all of this stuff is made in the United States by people that are involved in the program as well. And there's not if you will notice, there's not a single bottle of wild turkey in any of the.
I saw a bunch of wild turkeys the other day. I'm telling you, they're out there by us.
Oh yeah, they're incredible animals. They just really are. And but anybody that can, we'd appreciate if they at least participate by buying a membership, and if they'd like to come into the banquet and join the fellowship there. And the other thing, there are some good bargains to be had at this particular outing. There'll be shotguns that'll be auctioned off. This particular program generates a scholarship as well as opportunities for improving the habitat and the species.
And this is going on this Saturday.
Friday
Friday at the Kiwanis Building
Center
at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
All right, now there's dinner, okay, you have single ticket, and then they got couple tickets, and then they got different levels of sponsorship.
Sponsorship, correct.
But still, you get in the door, you're going to be able to go to the auction.
Right.
You're going to be able to participate in the raffles. I saw where they're going to have some very nice raffle gifts given away. And so this is all through the
National Wild Turkey Federation, the local. We like to call this chapter in Andalusia the Cutters and Strutters.
The Cutters and Strutters.
And,
I would rather just be a turkey hunter, but but there's a lot. You know, this is what's cool about having a local business supporting all these. I mean, everybody's a hunter around here, or has a hunter in their family, and whether they hunt turkey, whether they hunt deer, squirrel, whatever they're hunting. Okay, you've got it all at Sporting Lifestyles.
well, we like to think that we do. Yeah, We've even equipped people for trips with a lot of the stuff that they've carried even to Africa and places like that. So we do have a pretty broad offering in the store.
Well, you've got black powder, you've got rimfire, you've got center fire guns, you got long guns, you got pistols, you've got automatics and revolvers.
And you know, as we move into turkey season, and this is the only plug that I'd like to
Go ahead.
to make, is that we do have a few things that are pretty nice. And I know this is not for turkey season, but I'd like to point this out. This is a beautiful North Face jacket. We have these in the store, and we have them on special right now. Great price, number of sizes and colors. I just brought this one out because it looks so good with, you know, me.
I think you ought to put it on.
One arm, maybe. This is fun. And one of the other things, though, as turkey season comes in, we're always visited by our friends, the gnats and the mosquitoes.
Yes.
And while we may not have the largest mosquitoes in the world, we have some of the most aggressive.
Yes, we do.
I've fished in Wisconsin and Minnesota where the mosquitoes have wing numbers. But we do have some aggressive mosquitoes, and one of the things that we have down here are these.
It looks like a ghillie suit.
It's kind of like a ghillie suit. It's not really a ghillie suit. It's a bug suit, and it's made out of hardware kind of cloth, but it does have a leafy on it, a leafy three-dimensional.
Oh, your microphone fell off.
Oh, my mic.
Yeah, can't hear you down there.
Thank goodness. My mic dropped off, folks. Anyway, this is a real nice
It
thing
is.
that you can carry. It'll break up your background in the woods and keep them skeeters off.
You know what irritates the fire out of me when I'm out in the woods, and that is the gnats. Now the mosquitoes, you know, yeah, when you're sitting still, they usually get you. But those gnats, it's like they swarm around you when you're out there.
Well, you know, we've got a couple of answers for that. This is part of it. There's another product called a thermocell.
Now that's modern technology.
This is modern technology. This is where high tech meets redneck. And what this is a propane powered unit that has a wick in it that heats up, and it has a repellent in it, and it will keep an area around you for 200 square feet pretty well free of gnats, mosquitoes, that kind of stuff. It even works inside. We have a variance of this that you can use around your house, around your patio or whatever like that. This is just a package that you can carry with you. It's got a holster and everything. It's battery operated.
So you can carry it with you.
Yeah. You just hang it on your gear and keep the mosquitoes away from it. But we have other versions of this that look like outdoor lanterns that you can put out on the patio, and it does the same thing. I can tell you some funny stories about this, but who wants to listen to my old stuff? But this stuff really works. We also
when somebody says that, you say, okay, well, tell me a funny thing. But, okay, go ahead.
Well,
I mean, come on, John.
Last year at the Agricultural Expo, the event before the Ag Expo was something that involved a large amount of cattle or something like that. And as a result of the cattle being in the area and some of the souvenirs that they leave behind, we had a lot of flies. And they were inside of the Expo building with us. And we took a couple of these things and put them around our little exhibit. And while everybody else around us was doing this, we were over there just enjoying ourselves. It kept the flies away from us, and it was nice. Also, we have a product called Colston's Duranon tick repellent. Deer ticks have gotten to be more and more of a problem in the South in the last 2 years.
And they're dangerous.
And they can kill you. Yeah. Lyme disease can make you very miserable, or it can kill you.
I know several people that have Lyme disease, and it's very painful and uncomfortable.
Right. This is, to my understanding, I know I've used it, the best tick repellent that there is out there. We carry it with us. We also carry the bug barrier products. And for those that need a brand that you see on television, we carry the Repel products. They're all good. Some of them have better places in our applications than others, but it's an excellent product. This is a good one.
Now, DEET is in a lot of this stuff.
That's right. DEET is, and you need to be careful with DEET.
I was going to say, because there's new things that have come out about that.
Yeah, DEET is it's kind of a systemic, from what I can gather, pesticide, but you need to be careful with that. You don't need to put it, you don't need to spray it up your nose. You don't need to use it like a mouthwash. You don't need to put it in your eyes, and you don't need to spray it in your ears. And
Yeah, because a lot of folks, when they spray it, they'll spray it around their head like this and get it. And if it goes to the eyes and the nose, immediately it's absorbed into the bloodstream.
Correct.
And DEET, if you look it up, we got internet capabilities now. I'd advise anybody to look that up because it does have some effects, okay, long-term effects later on that you go, how come that happened?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably the reason I am today.
I was going to say, look, there's proof right
got
there.
a third eye I'm growing right up here.
Is that what that is?
That's, yeah. All this time you just thought I was turning gray.
Yeah.
But it's all because of the DEET. Then
It has something to do with your memory too, doesn't it?
what movie?
Go ahead.
Of course,
Pick something out.
We have these camo face masks. This is a leafy 3D face mask, and that we carry, and we have these Enduro LED headlights. You can put it on your hat or
Over your
head.
third eye.
Right. That's what I like it over my third eye. The only problem I have with the third eye is sunglasses.
Oh, I can fix that for you.
Oh, well, I know. I just usually take an eye patch and put over it.
I'll just poke it out with my finger.
These are really nice. You just put it on your cap.
Spray some DEET on it.
Right, spray some DEET on it. And go through the.
He's rubbing on it now.
Okay, my microphone.
Boy, you were just hard on him.
I'm telling
It's
you.
that gruff beard that he's got
Then we have
from all the DEET.
ground blind material that you can make yourself some cover out of. You can use this to make a ghillie suit. It's camouflaged in burlap, very durable.
I just wanted this was upside down.
Oh, that's okay. That's the way I am all the time. We also have camouflage duct tape.
Oh, hey.
Now that's as American as you can get.
Now, you know what, the first time I saw that was out at the South Alabama Raceway. And somebody got in a wreck and they pulled that out and put it on their race car to hold it together. It's 100-mile-an-hour duct tape.
You'll never see it because it's camouflage.
Well, I'll tell you what now, I'd love to see somebody wrap themselves up in that. No, I'm just teasing.
Now,
Somebody will do
If you'd like
that.
to see that, we have what we have camo form. This is kind of like an ace bandage that's done like camo, and you can wrap it around yourself. You can wrap it around your rifle or your shotgun.
I've seen that before.
You can,
Over at the racetrack. No.
yeah, it's available. We also have the camouflage makeup that you can.
Oh,
If
man.
you want to look like the guys from Duck Dynasty, we've got that.
You do look like that guy.
Kill me now, please. Then we have citronella candles for keeping the mosquitoes. And
Are
that
you a
kind of
brother
stuff away.
to the Duck Dynasty group?
Pardon me?
Are you a relative to the Duck Dynasty family?
No, we're poor, and we always have to be. If you're a J, you're pretty well.
Have you ever seen that show called Ducks Quack Don't Echo?
No, I can't say that
I thought I'd ask.
I mean, there's a lot of things I missed.
Okay.
Then we have the Sawyer extractor series. This is the best extractor for insect stings and snake bites that there is out there. There's a great article in Alabama Outdoor Magazine last September about a guy that was snake bitten in North Alabama during turkey season, and he had this Sawyer kit with him that saved his life. It's not only saved his life, it saved the limb. A lot of times you'll lose a limb if you're...
Because it swells and
right.
cuts circulation off.
And then we've got two other little items here that we'd like to mention that are on sale. If you just want something for, to give somebody to tell them that you're thinking about them or something like that, we've got excellent buys on a couple of things. This is a little Visitech binocular we're carrying. it does a fine job for what it does.
Right.
It's normally $14.99. We had them on sale for $3.99. We bought an awful lot of them, and we got a good deal, and we're just passing along. And then we have this little micro plier set here. It's like a small multi-tool. You can fold it up.
And it's camouflaged.
It's only $2.99.
Wow.
So, and we keep these in stock pretty well all the time. They're a great buy. It's a great little product. And we're thankful that we have the opportunity to sell those. And we're thankful for the time that you give us here. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate y'all too. Now, I want to go through real quick the departments of the store, if you don't mind, because I don't think people get the concept of what's over there. They go down to Florida, they go west or north, and they go to these big box stores. Okay.
Right.
Now, I can't think of anything that you all don't carry except pleasure boats and bass boats that some of the big box stores carry. And you don't have the big fish aquarium taking up footage inside your store.
But we have a 1928 Model T that was on Hee-Haw, and they don't have that.
Well, that's true too. And you also got that thing in the front. What is that thing in the front window?
What, the muskox?
I guess. Boy, I bet you get more people coming in that door if you put them away from that front door.
It's possible, but they always come in and ask, what is that?
Then they look at you and they go, "Are you related?"
Right.
I had to do that. I'm just teasing.
That's okay.
That's all right. But let's say you got fishing.
Yeah, I like to think of the store, if you walked in and took a tour of it, it kind of work like this. As you come in the door to your left, there'd be the archery area. And we've got that manned usually every day of the week by someone that's a specialist in archery, James Dennis or Reggie Hart's. Right behind that is our indoor archery range, which we will open on March 4th.
I was in there this weekend, and it's coming along.
Right, we will actually have a 43-yard indoor area that you can shoot your bows in, practice your form, whatever you want to do. In there, they can, as part of their services, for a small nominal fee, they can paper tune your arrows both with regular field tips and with broadheads, so they can do some pretty neat things to make your arrows and your bows function as they should. Then we have the archery area continues on. Then we have cutlery and knives, caps, and then we have shooting accessories, black powder weapons, ammunition, pistols. Behind that we have modern firearms. Then we have Costa glasses, native glasses, Wally X glasses in that particular part of the store. We also carry binoculars and monoculars and scopes from people like Brunton, Weaver, Loophole, Nikon, Meopta, Burris, Tasco. They're all in that area. Then there's the car, and then we have clothing and shoes. Our shoes, we have some muck.
I didn't even know you had shoes.
Yes, we have shoes and boots. We have muck. We have the coolest beach and boat shoes from Mojo in the store. We have some key lime colored shoes that are just extremely comfortable, and I guess if you got hungry, you could eat them. And then we've got the fishing gear, and that department just continues to grow. Camping and kayaking in canoes, and then you're back out the front door, hopefully with something in your hand that you paid for.
Well, lots of stuff over there. Then you got the kayaks up front too, to the right, and you got your fishing stuff down on the right-hand side. You got freshwater, saltwater. You've got your duck calls. You've got your turkey calls.
We have duck calls. We have coyote calls. We have turkey calls. We have predator calls for things like hogs and foxes and bobcats. We have wounded animal calls that can be used for that. We have the scents, the cover scents. We have we carry the coon urine, the fox, red fox urine, we carry coyote urine. All of those things are not because we're scatologists, but because people use that as a way to cover themselves as they go in and trap. We even carry traps.
I didn't know that. I've been there many times and walked around that entire store several times, and it takes a while to walk around that store. And there's things there that I discover every time I walk in. But once again, you're located on West Bypass.
West Bypass, to give you a landmark, we're across from McDonald's, right by Beef O'Brady's. 20,000 square feet of really unique merchandise for a town this size. We like to think of ourselves as a small box store with hometown people and service inside of it. Great deal of high quality merchandise and generally good advice. And if we can't give you good advice, then they'll send you over to me and I'll come up with some kind of a story that'll make it believe.
And then it won't be good advice. We'll just go with that. But and your hours of operation, Monday through Friday?
9 o'clock until 6 p.m. and then Saturdays from 9 o'clock until 4.
All right. Now, I'll talk real briefly on ammunition, okay, because that seems to be a hot subject. Teresa and I and my son and a friend of ours went out target practicing yesterday out at a range, on a private range. And it doesn't take long to go through a lot of or expensive ammunition. And we're talking about how hard it is to get certain, sorts of ammunition. And one of the guys came up and said, you know what? It's not that it's not being manufactured. It's that people are buying it as soon as it hits the shelves, and they're making their own shortage on the demand. Do you feel that? Or do you think that, I mean, we've heard the government has done it. We've heard, all sorts of stories.
We could get into some pretty deep economics as to why we don't have a lot of ammunition available, and it's in the most popular calibers. It's 22s, 25, 32s, 243s, 38 special, 45, 9 millimeters, 40 cals, all of that, 270, 308, all of that stuff's been hard to find this year. They're also some of the most frequently used calibers. We heard that the government had bought, I don't know, a kabillion rounds of ammunition for Homeland
Security.
And we know that's a true story, and we know that we're a free market economy, and money, that the goods are going to go where the money is, and that's a lot of money, and that's a lot of goods. But we have tremendous manufacturing capacity in this country. So I'm sure that while there's enough ammunition in the Homeland Security Department to kill each one of us Americans 12 times, that's not where it all went. Mm-hmm. That there are people that have taken advantage of this situation, and I do not know who you are. But there are people that have taken advantage of this situation, have bought it and are hoarding it, and it's driven the price up because, it's just hard to find. I mean, I never would have thought we would have seen the prices for 22 ammunition that we see now. I try to tell people the first 22 I ever bought in my life, I bought down from the old Western Auto here in Andalusia, and I paid $21 for the rifle and a brick of shells. Now the brick of shells is way more than $21.
Oh, yeah.
You get the rifle.
Yeah, wow. All right, well, just wanted to hear a little bit about that ammunition story, because you go out to the big box stores and they ration it out, 2 boxes here and 2 boxes there.
Right.
And I guess that's fair. I just don't know why it's short of hand. One day we'll do a show on that. And
right.
Want to tell y'all how much we appreciate y'all over there at Sporting Lifestyles. Y'all are a lot of fun. You bring a lot of good to the community. You have events going on, and you make or announce the events and participate and support them and sponsor things that bring people into this community. And it's just a great addition over there at Sporting Lifestyles.
Well, thank you.
And y'all do an awesome job over there. There's a guy back in the back, though. What's his name? The short little Well, anyway, we'll talk about him another time.
You're not talking about Chuck or
I wouldn't mention his name. You did.
Chuck and Glenn back in the gun department, the fishing department. You know, those are two solid hands. And they do an awful lot of good work for us. And
You're talking nice about them.
I normally do.
Oh, I thought you were really going to cut them all now.
No. I mean, why should I cut Chuck down to size? He's already been diminished. Chuck's a good guy. He's a good friend of mine. He's, in my opinion, straight as a string.
Beautiful wife.
She works.
She works there too.
Customer service, and she's just a sweet, genuinely good person.
You got two ladies that work there that I just love coming in that door. That's Chuck's wife. What's her name?
Oh, Jane.
Jane. And then you got Mrs. Tisdale.
Jennifer. What a sweetheart.
Let me tell you something. If you have not met Mrs. Tisdale, you would do what everybody else does with Teresa when they meet her and me. They go, how have you put up with your husband so long? And she's asked that a lot about John.
Oh, I would. You know, my job's at risk. I can't.
Well, John, thank you for being my landlord for a while. Anyway, no, she is a wonderful lady, and she is a hard worker. She's smart.
Oh, yeah.
And now we know where John gets it from. Your job's at risk, I know.
No, I mean, I think they're both smart.
Okay.
You know, I think they make I think they're
Safe
like
play.
anybody that's successful. They're a good team. They work real well together, and you know.
That was a safe play, man. Yeah,
My favorite color is plaid.
Plaid. Yeah, I got you. He'd plaid that one all the way to the bank. Folks, Sporting Lifestyles, go on out and see them. It's family owned and operated. There's actually 3 families there that are operating that place. If you really look at 4 or 5 families, they're operating that thing. You've got them all the way from the front door with John's family. You got Chuck's family. You've got John Jay's family. And you've got the archery gentleman there.
Right.
And everybody there it's a family atmosphere. And when you walk in the door, you're greeted with a smile and you are helped. It's not like trying to look for somebody to hey, do you have this? They come right to you and they ask you, what can we do for you? Service without, beyond any doubt, the best for a sporting goods store that I have ever seen. And you guys are totally awesome over there. And I guess that's all we can say. We talked about you enough. We got to get you out of here.
Well, it's about time to open the store.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm looking at the clock. It's that time.
Yeah. Eddie, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for coming
Appreciate
on.
it.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Folks, Sporting Lifestyle, Westgate Plaza, right next to Beef O'Brady's. And come on out there and have yourself a good old time. They've got an indoor archery place that they're going to have opening up when?
March 4th.
March 4th, just a week or so away.
Right.
Man, I can't. Now, see, I got an idea for y'all to make some good money.
Okay, let me guess. You're gonna put on a suit, bulletproof, and run back and forth across the back. And we're gonna sell arrows for $25 a piece to people that want to shoot at you. We should make a small fortune.
That wasn't my idea.
Oh,
Mine was a little bit more of a positive thing instead of having Eddie blood dropped all over the place out there.
oh, I don't want to actually
Full of
spill
holes.
blood. I just want to see you knocked around a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Uh-huh. Anyway, why don't you rent bows and arrows out there?
Well, there'll be a.
That'll, I mean,
Just so there'll be an understanding, any bow that we have for sale in the place is available for someone to take. We'd like to take it off the rack ourselves.
so I can come over there and
let
shoot.
somebody take it down and shoot it. We will have, when we open, we will have demonstrator units that you will be able to use under the supervision of our personnel.
I'm going to have fun.
Yes, you will.
I'm telling you, because I'd never had an interest in archery before. Coming out to Sporting Lifestyles and watching how easy it is. I mean, I watched a kid, I bet you he wasn't even a teenager yet, get his Christmas bow. You were out there that day, I videotaped it. And within 10 minutes, he was racking the arrows, whatever you call them, bolts, arrows, whatever. Bolts are on crossbows. But the arrows within a quarter-size pattern.
Oh, yeah. James Ennis and Reggie Harts are wonderful to watch with a new shooter. They're very patient, but they're good at what they do. They'll teach them the right form. And if you practice the right form, you'll be successful. And that's true in life, too.
I was going to say, John, you missed that form. Folks, we love y'all. I love you too, John. Yeah, I know. It's just once in a while. God bless y'all. Remember, keep it real, keep God in it. Go buy Sporting Lifestyles. You have a fantastic, you can spend a day in that place. And come on out and see John Jay and his family and the rest of the crew out there. That's at Westgate Plaza. Keep it real, keep God in it. See you next time.